Hello and welcome to German Lessons with Mr. Ferguson. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Deutschunterricht mit Herrn Ferguson. Diese 5. Stunde über die Zeitformen, the fifth tenses lesson, ist, wie man das Imperfekt mit Modalverben benutzt. How to use the imperfect tense with modal verbs. This lesson is designed to assist with the understanding of the more complex aspects of German grammar and is suitable for students studying for GCSE or A-level in the UK, or students of an equivalent level. In terms of CEFR language learning levels, this is approximately A1 to A2 level. To understand this lesson, it's important that you understand what a modal verb is and how regular verbs act in the imperfect tense. If you haven't seen these videos, please start by watching the modal verbs video by clicking here. As discussed previously, the imperfect tense is one of the past tenses in German, and it's also by far the easiest way to put modal verbs into the past tense. It's worth remembering that modal verbs always go with infinitives, even when they are in the past tense. As a quick recap, the modal verbs are können, to be able to or can, müssen, to have to or must, dürfen, to be allowed to or may, wollen, to want to, sollen, to ought to or should, and mögen, to like or to like to. That means that in the past tense, these verbs will mean was able to or could, had to, was allowed to, wanted to, was supposed to, and liked or liked to. To form modal verbs in the imperfect tense, we need to remember the verb endings in this tense. These are te for ich, test for du, te for er, sie, es and man, ten for wir, tet for ihr, and ten for sie and sie. Next, we need our imperfect stem. I will show you how to do this using können as an example, but this works for all the modal verbs except mögen, which I'll talk about later. To get the imperfect stem, follow these steps. 1. Remove the en. Können, therefore, becomes kön. 2. Remove the umlaut. Kön becomes kon. 3. Add the relevant ending. So, for example, ich konnte. I was able to. The other ich forms, therefore, are ich musste, I had to, ich durfte, I was allowed to, ich wollte, I wanted to, ich sollte, I was supposed to. I translate this as was supposed to, as should have would be said in a different way in German. For mögen, the stem changes, so it becomes moch. So the ich form is ich mochte, I liked or I liked to. Let's look at some examples. Er konnte Rad fahren. He was able to cycle. Musstest du Mathe lernen? Did you, informal singular, have to learn maths? Sie durften zur Party gehen. They were allowed to go to the party. Wollten Sie hier sitzen? Did you, formal, want to sit here? Wir sollten vorsichtiger sein. We were supposed to be more careful. Ich mochte den Film sehen. I liked watching the film. As I mentioned in the original modal verbs video, mögen is more commonly used with a noun as the direct object. So, ich mochte den Film, I liked the film, would be more commonly heard. So, that's how to use modal verbs in the imperfect tense. It's a good idea to pause the video now to recap how the stems of modal verbs change in the imperfect, as well as which endings to add with which pronouns. Habe ich etwas vergessen? If you're a native German speaker and think I've forgotten something important about modal verbs in the imperfect tense, please let me know in the comments. Bitte schreibt einen Kommentar. Also, please don't forget to click subscribe to receive all of my German lesson videos, language learning tips and updates. Otherwise, from me is Danke und auf Wiedersehen.